Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome to Grid Vision. It is the OB Builders Cup Series, and we are live from Bristol, baby. It's Bristol week, so you know what that means here in the NASCAR circuit. That means a lot of laps around the last great Coliseum. And here we are on Grid Vision, and who's we? Well, it's the usual boys. It's me, Jolo up in the booth with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Darbyshire, the real man behind the curtain. And we are bringing you the best in iRacing content every week. And this week we are at Bristol. Sheldon, are you pumped to go out?
Oh, absolutely. Bristol, absolutely one of my favorite tracks on the circuit. I've had a lot of success here throughout the years, had a lot of great racing. And it's a fun track to run, especially once you get the left side tires hooked down on the yellow stripe and you just start mowing through cars through the center. And I don't mean like physically mowing through them, but just cutting great lap times on the inside lane. There's not a more fun place in the world, especially if you get some good green flag runs.
And good green flag runs are really what we're all about here on Grid Vision. But the OB Builders Cup Series, man, these guys are also about good green flag runs, and we're going to be seeing some of that tonight. But Sheldon, why don't you give us a few keys for tonight's race in terms of going around and around and around Bristol?
Absolutely. Give me just a second there as we try to get things gathered out so we can see what's going on here on our end.
And in the meantime, I want to welcome folks for popping in. And there we go. And Sheldon, while the folks are getting settled in and getting their popcorn and their drinks, let's go ahead and hear all about it.
Yeah, and as I say here pretty eloquently, in the words of Lil Jon, get low. You're going to be partying like it's 2002 because they shaved off a lot of the grip on that outside lane. This place drives like it did in 2002. You're going to see guys fighting to get down to that yellow stripe and try to keep those cars hooked up against the transition of the apron. Anywhere else, you're going to be kind of killing the tires off, and you're going to be falling backwards. Number two, we got the single pit road here, which means you enter on the back straightaway, have to drive all the way around into your pit box if you're on the front stretch. You got to go through both pit lanes, though, whether it's under green or under caution. A lot of people will make mistakes and fall prey to that here today because it's not how we used to do it, for years and years. And then finally, situational awareness. Things happen fast here at Bristol. 15-second lap times on fresh tires. One guy makes a mistake on the front straightaway while you're driving down the back straightaway. If you're not paying attention, you could very likely find yourself in it. You've got to keep your head on a swivel, whether that's peeking in the mirror to avoid getting run over or keeping an eye, all the way through the corner, what's going on 5, 6, 7 cars in front of you. You just got to be on your toes every second here.
And on your toes is what they shall be. Let's take a look at the OB Builders Cup Series league standings right now. We're about a quarter of the way through the series. Race 7 out of 36. In the lead right now, it's Adam Benefield with Brendan Pasalacqua in second. Luis C. Becerra, in third, with Paul Hill in fourth. Randy Mullins in fifth. Paul Gallimore in sixth. Evan Say in seventh. John Binder in eighth. PB Henry in ninth. And whoops, I didn't quite read fast enough to catch the 10th one. Just wanted to catch the top 10 there, but we'll just wanted to let you guys know that the series is getting hot. And as we go through and we cover this series, we'll be sure to give you brain fart for a second. Let's just go to the picks. Sheldon, who is your pick this week?
Well, we got track, concrete, high bank, lots of tire wear. We're tuning through tires like crazy this week. I got to go with, the same guy I'd pick for Dover. I got to go with that 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. He's just always a rocket when he comes to tracks where you really have to maintain tires.
All right, not bad. I went with Brendan Pasalacqua, and Austin Edgrum is the pick down in the truck. Number 2, the one to watch. Who you think it's going to be?
Bristol always kind of rewards itself to somebody with a little bit of a soft touch, somebody that's not going to go out there and destroy the car 5 laps in. When I think of that, I always think of Paul Hill, very calm, calculated driver behind the wheel. I think 26 machine might be one to keep your eye on here today.
You got it, my friend. And I went with Justin Levine, Patrick Gitter down in the truck. And let's get that last entry revealed, the underdog of this race. I actually picked Austin Edstrom.
I'm going by numbers. And that number being number 11, one of the most successful cars in the history of Bristol, with all the wins with Darrell Waltrip and Denny Hamlin and a numerous host of others throughout the decades. And I feel like Paul Gallimore might add himself to the list of drivers winning at Bristol in the 11.
Well, let's see who's going around right now, and this will determine who wins based, who's going around. Let's start off by reading off the grid here. In your pole position, first place, it's going to go to Paul Gallimore, I believe, followed by Bruce Rayner on the outside. Third, it's Patrick Gitter, with Daniel Wiles in fourth. Fifth, Josh Schaffner, with Chris Hudson in sixth. Fourth row, Matt DiCiani in seventh, with Luis Becerra in eighth. Adam Benefiel will be in ninth, with Brandon Pasalacqua in 10th.
Rolling off the grid in 11th place going to be the 28 machine Tim Wortman Jr. with Randy Mullins up top in 12th. 13th on the grid going to be the 26 machine of Paul Hill with Joseph Causey starting in 14th. 15th place, the 3 machine, the Intimidator himself, Lou Christian with Kevin Zosiak in the 37 starting in 16th. 17th place going to be Greg Carr with Chris Crosby in the 9 machine in 18th. 19th place going to be Jordan Slater in the 92 with John Bender rounding at the top 20. Joe?
You got it. Let's fly through the rest of them here. Jose Medina in 21st, Alex Carr in 22nd, Russell Black in 23rd, with Shane Clore in 24th, PB Henry in 25th, with Justin Levine in 26th, Austin Edstrom in 27th, with Chris Davis in 28th, Chad Kibbe in, JC Gibson in 29th, with Chad Kibbe in 30th, and Keith Long in 31st.
His car is working on the back straightaway here, getting ready to load up into the BK Designs start zone. Fielded off with your Tate Crosby pole winner, that 11 machine of Paul Gallimore. You know, I mentioned that 11 would potentially be pretty good here, and look at that, starting on the pole. Great start here for Gallimore.
Beautiful place to be. Beautiful place to be. There's the green flag. Also, we're flying through that BK Design start zone, and we are go, go, go here on Grid Vision. And that's going to be it for one lap around Bristol. It's a short one every time, only about 19 seconds around this whole thing.
Gonna be shorter than that once they get these things up to speed here. 15-second lap times on the fringe of 14.9s here. Some of the times you've seen in practice, a couple guys get up to 14.8s and 7s earlier in the week. Moving up into second place right now is the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter as he tries to get by the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner. Patrick Gitter, I say it's going to be a strong one here today. He's already flexing his muscles early up to the second spot, now trying to close in on the 11 machine of Gallimore.
And we have a few two wide situations, a little further back though, but things are quickly straightening out here. Everybody's trying to find their place amongst the track. Speaking of two wides, there's the Texaco car. I love that Texaco star. Who's that in the... Edstrom. Oh, Edstrom. Austin Edstrom driving the Texaco car today for One Sim Motorsports.
Edstrom coming off a good run last night in NIS, too. Finished P6. He's got a lot of pace. We got one car around though in the back. JC Gibson head on into the outside wall in the front stretch. No.
Bristol will claim its first. Gibson around briefly, but back in control, it looks like. Is he hopping, though? Looks like he might be hopping a little bit. Something might be wrong with that car. Let's have a look and see what happened here. Gibson now in the 09. You can see him down on the inside in the red, white, and blue. Just, ooh.
A little too much. Look at Levine. Almost curtains early for the 19.
Yeah. Not a really good look, unfortunately. Coming out of 3 and 4, you can lose yourself a little bit here, and that's exactly what happened to Gibson.
It was a very easy track. With the package changes that we had in the offseason here for the short tracks, especially 750 horsepower shoved to the rear wheels. We mentioned that. No diffuser whatsoever. Now, Bristol was always right on edge regardless of what package we run here, but now we've taken pretty much everything that these guys could lean on as a cushion, as a little bit of a security blanket, and completely thrown out the window, then, poured gas on top of the blanket at the same time. So these cars are a lot more tricky to run around here than they were last year. I ran NIS last night. It was It was a lot of fun, but that was the most on edge I think I've ever experienced a car here at the world's last great Coliseum.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it feels like we're now racing on the head of a pin, so to speak, with some of these cars. It's a lot of power for a little place, and you can very quickly underestimate exactly what's going down onto the track here, as we saw that happen there at Gibson very briefly. But JC's going to be back out, I'm sure, and we're going to get things kicked off again. Short pace laps here, so we're going to be doing a couple.
The best statement I've ever heard, or at least description of Bristol that I've ever heard in my life, was Darrell Waltrip for the NASCAR 15 pre-race when you'd come here in career mode. He referred to Bristol as flying a fighter jet around a gymnasium. And he's not too far from it, because these things, they have so much power and so much speed. You come into this track where you got this high banking. It feels like you're barely off of it, and you're just ripping around here. It's the fastest track lap time wise on the Cup Series schedule.
It is wild to me that it is such a small track for a car that wants to go so fast, that can go so fast. You know, the speed is there, but Bristol isn't really built for speed. It's built for technique. You know, it's a place where you're going to go fast by nature of it being a short track, but it's a place where your technique has got to be on display. And you've got to be able to drive that razor's edge. Here, as we see everybody lined back up now, the pace car is ready to lead things down to the line. The lights are off. So we're going to get things going again here at Bristol, folks. The last great Coliseum's getting ready to roar once more. Down goes the pace car into the start zone. The BK Designs restart zone. Green flag, green flag, green flag. Here we go.
And a good clean launch here for Patrick Gitter, working the outside, trying to get past the 11 machine of Gallimore, and he's going to do it and then some. Builds a couple car lengths advantage down into turn 3. That might be curtains for some of these guys here.
Yeah, we got activity low. A lot of people stacked up in the back still. Brendan Pasalacqua, one of them on the outside there. He's going to be behind a little bit, though. Becerra up in the 12 is going to be holding off Schaffner. Schaffner puts it too wide there. Ooh, Becerra almost up into Schaffner. Very, very close. Probably some of the closest racing we've got up here at the front right now. Gallimore and Wiles, they're side by side as well. So there are moves attempting to be made here. Moves attempting to be made indeed.
Gallimore in a really bad spot here, stuck in this outside lane, just whittling those Goodyear Eagles away. You want to get down to the bottom as soon as you can here. And he's going to try and build a little bit of a buffer here, trying to get down in front of the 50 machine of Schaffner, able to find a hole, sticks the car down there. Schaffner not going to contest it here, doesn't want to go out there and spin the 11 machine. And now Gallimore has to get back to work. Got to cool those tires down a couple laps here on that yellow stripe, and then start moving forward.
Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can. Right now, Pasalacqua, interestingly enough, is driving that center line. Like, he's not going all the way down to the yellow line where a lot of his competitors are driving right now. Speaking of which, specifically right behind him, Becerra is going all the way down to the yellow line. Here we go. Pasalacqua now driving a little more defensively, but he's been floating it up a little bit high and mid rather than dropping it all the way down there. You can see him doing it again here. What's the strategy here? We were talking about grinding those Eagles down, but is he just trying to maintain speed?
What you're seeing right here is you see the 50 machine of Schaffner is doing a really good job working the bottom lane. Schaffner came up off the bottom about a lap or two ago. Pasalacqua went down to the bottom. Now Schaffner's back on the inside lane, rolling the bottom. Pasalacqua going to try and use that outside to get a little bit of clean air to the nose. You know, even though it's such a short track, the dirty air is very effective here at Bristol, whether it be in the Cup car or the Xfinity car. But here we go. There goes the 6 machine of Pasalacqua ripping the fence here. Going to take over the spot from the 50 of Schaffner. And I think right now, too, Pasalacqua just experimenting right now, seeing what works, what doesn't, and trying to get track position early. It's a good run down out of turn 2, down the back straightaway into 3. Going to try and clear the 11 machine of Gallimore.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
Throttle here and let him by. And a cool new paint scheme for Pasalacqua this week, too. Looks like it's purple with lightning bolts all over it.
Yeah, I like it. Very good looking. Grape flavored car. Oh, look at that. Ah, yeah. Black Panther. That's great. Looking good.
Does a sick-looking hot rod right there.
It's a sick-looking hot rod. I take back what I said about the grape flavor. It is definitely a vibranium purple, and it looks very good. Up here at the front, Gitter has to deal with some approaching competition in the form of Passalacqua, who's making the pass right now on Daniel Wiles for third place. Passalacqua up 1 from where he started, I think, but he's made his way back up after that one restart, and now he is holding on to third place.
The Wiles have a little tag with the wall there coming out of turn 2 to last lap. You're going to see that a lot here throughout the race. The good news for these guys is that it's not really going to affect them too much. As long as you hit square, you don't slam into it. You know, these cars are very tolerant to a bump or, you know, a decent-sized smack against that outside fence here on corner exit. I think everybody did it last night in NIS at least 3 or 4 times. You got battle for second place heating up, and it's not up to heat for long because the 6th machine of Passalacqua just up here trying to force himself to the front of the pack as early as possible. This is pretty out of character here for the driver of the 6th machine. Normally, you know, want to sit back there and just wait in the traffic.
That's true. That's true. He is one who tends to sit back a little bit during the earlier parts of the race. But in this case, we've seen him steadily put one hand over the other, one foot over the other, climbing that ladder, working his way up rung by rung towards the top. And now he is within stone's throw of Patrick Gitter, and very quickly could be leading this whole race.
Watching him carve through this field early, though, only tells me one thing, and that's the driver of that 6th machine has a lot of confidence in the equipment beneath him. You know, normally Passalacqua kind of sits there and waits for the race to come to him. Now he's up here to the outside of Patrick Gitter, making a charge for the lead. Down to 3 and 4, Gitter to the bottom. Passalacqua up on that outside line on the seam. He's going to make the pass and walk away with the lead. Now as he go back down to the bottom, stays up top through 1 and 2.
Yeah, something tells me that's his line. That's not just a matter of using it for passing. That's where he's driving his car today, and it's really benefited him. As we can see, he's not only leading the race, but he's putting a little bit of distance right now on the leader, or on the previous leader.
He's doing something a little different than what I've seen everybody else do this week. So hats off to Brandon Passalacqua for finding that extra grip here that nobody else can seem to find right now. Just the only question is, how long is this going to last? Are we looking at a situation that we see like when we go to Las Vegas, or, you know, any other time we come to Bristol, where somebody rips that outside line and they're fast for the first 40, 50 laps, but as soon as you cross that 60-lap threshold of the tires, you're pretty much hopping to the back and praying for a caution. Look at Joseph Causey now up to the outside here, the 43 machine of Chris Hudson. Chris Hudson with a great starting position here today, too. Well within the top 10 of the 43. Definitely a piece of momentum that he was looking for here. I remember he was pretty good here at Bristol last year. Going to be interesting to see if he can tell the same story here tonight. See, he's got his hands full right now, though. Big wiggle in front of the 54 machine of Randy Mullins, and down to the bottom. Here comes PB Henry in the 95.
PB Henry making his way out there, looking good. Love there comes my favorite paint scheme on the surface right now also. That would be Chris Hudson. I don't know, who's that in the...
Yeah, it's Chris Hudson there.
Yeah, Chris Hudson there. Yeah, I thought so.
In the Red Tail Mustang.
My favorite paint scheme.
Also, Adam Benefield changing it up this week in the 83 machine. New colors for him. Normally sticks with the blue and silver. This week he decided he wanted to look like something that fell out of my daughter's Easter basket on Sunday.
Yeah. That's it. Those are Easter egg colors.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess he saw Justin with the neon yellow this year, getting all the camera time. You know, wanted his car to be easy to pick out in the mix too. But a bit of a change up here for Benefield, so looks cool. Kind of reminds me of the Menards. I think Libman Menards car that Blaney runs.
Oh, I gotta look at that one. Gotta do some Googling.
Well, look at this. Passalacqua's already worked up a 2-second advantage over Patrick Gitter.
I think this is it.
It was a 16.147 for your race leader. It was a 16.353 for second place with Patrick Gitter. Also moving up into third place, we haven't really covered that 12 machine, Louis Becerra, making some moves early here. Got himself in a good spot. And I know he's hoping for a bit of a better result than how NIS played out for him yesterday evening.
Well, there's 30-something cars in the field. So there's a very good chance that within just a few more minutes here, he's going to be seeing the tail end of the pack. So I think that if I was Pasalakwa, what I was trying to do, I don't know, do you remember that insane video of the Chinese speed skater who did a lap ahead of everyone and then just got in line behind the overall pack?
Oh, well, it ain't gonna matter now because we got a yellow. I think Louis Bizzaro just went for a spin.
Oh,
no,
okay.
PB Henry.
This might be not really a wrench in his works, but this could throw off the overall rhythm that Pasalakwa was going for.
Well, this is going to be good for Pasalakwa. If he burned up those tires a little bit here, he can come down, get 4 freshies, and go back to business as usual as we get a look at what happened here with the 95. And it just looks like PB got loose coming out of turn 4, which is easy to do, especially when you get somebody you're outside. You know, you put a little bit of extra wheel in it there to try and keep it off the car up top, but you still want to punch the throgs. You want to pass the guy on your outside. But sometimes it just, turns you around. There's no real saving it with this next-gen car here at Bristol.
Yeah, we'll watch right here. We'll see a ride along from PB Henry's perspective. Nearly the same move that we saw earlier. Nearly the same move. It was in the same spot.
Also got a mixed bag up here at the front. Good percentage of the field choosing to stay out while the rest of them coming down pit road. Patrick Gitter, your second place runner, comes down to get 4 fresh tires and some fuel. Pasalakwa, your race leader, stays out, and he brings Bryce Rayner, Daniel Wiles, Paul Gallimore, Causey, and many more with him around here. Now, I like the staying out strategy because it's so difficult when you get back into traffic here and you get a couple of cycles on the tires to really be able to make any moves. And you also got to worry about just the cluster of cars that stayed out in front of you. A lot of times you guys will fall into the back here with fresh tires and completely get taken out.
Yeah, it's a gamble, and it's one that once you start rolling more dice, it's not like you're going to get more success. You just got more chances to get caught up, unfortunately.
I tell you what, I do envy these guys though.
How's that?
There's a lot of weeks we get up here in the booth, and I'm just, I don't feel bad for them being out there. Oh man, I'd love to be out there on the track tonight.
Yeah, right conditions. Oh, it is, isn't it? It is Golf Masters Week, and that is what Benefield's paint scheme is referencing. So he's got the fairway, the rough. Okay.
Adam, you can tell it's for the Masters, but I'm going to keep swearing it. It's just you decide you want to drive an Easter egg this week. Here comes old Peter Cottontail down the front straightaway.
Hippity hoppity, Easter was last Sunday.
Yeah, he doesn't want any of that hippity hoppity here.
No. No hippity hoppity at Bristol, please. There goes the pace car. What we want is a clean start. Let's get one. There we go, go. Let's see what we can do here at Bristol, the last great Coliseum.
A good clean restart there through the BK restart zone. At the front of the pack. Pasalakwa going to try and hold on to the lead. Bryce Rayner giving him fits, though. Rayner dives down to the bottom here through 3 and 4. Good set of corners for the 22, and he's up and away. And I can already tell you, Pasalakwa starting to pay the debt for all the hurt he put on those tires early, because that machine looks way tight here.
It does. Well, let's see what happens to the car in the lead now. Bryce Rayner is really driving him off the car to get ahead this early. Could be a...
The runner's running a really tidy line here on the bottom. You see very minimal wheel inputs, letting the car just do what it wants to do, trying to keep it down there against that yellow stripe. Right there, that's going to be the longevity. That's what's going to save you tires. We got a wreck in the back again.
Uh-oh.
Shane Clore involved.
Cars. Yeah. This time we actually have a few people involved instead of just one. As we take a look back in time. The 72 and the 23.
He's got loose coming in. A little too much rear brake maybe on the 72 machine. Late stab into the corner, and it'll go right around. Gets collected by the 37 machine of Zodiac and takes the 71 along with him as well.
Yeah, same spot, but this time it was too far up in the pack to be avoidable.
Right on board here with Shane Clore, and just gets a little too deep in, and that back end snaps around, and then Blue Christian, absolutely nothing the 3 machine could have done to avoid getting into the back of Shane Clore there.
Okay. Lap 53 of 325, folks. Thank you for joining us here on Grid Vision. So nice to have you. If there's someone in your life who you think would enjoy watching some awesome rip-roaring iRacing action, send them a link to our YouTube channel here, and they can join in.
I know what everybody at home's probably thinking, why didn't Long stop there to avoid the wreck? Well, the way that this package works, the way that these cars are built on the absolute edge, any rapid input, whether it be throttle, brake, wheel, what have you, it's going to snap you head on into that outside wall. Long basically just goes in there, tries to slow it down enough to avoid the wreck, but there's only so much you can do here at Bristol to avoid a crash in front of you.
That's right, that's right. Now let's take we had a quick graphic up there on screen showing you next Thursday where we're going, folks. We're going to Kansas Speedway for the Kansas 260. That's Thursday, April 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Beautiful Kansas Speedway. 175 laps here live on YouTube on Grid Vision. Lights are off in the pace car. This time around, Sheldon, why don't you bring us to the line, huh?
Right. I guess we can do that, huh? What do you say, Darby? Jokes on you guys. He doesn't care. I mean, you can't hear him. That's what I meant to say. It lights out on the iRacing pace car as it gets ready to take the 24 hours of pit road here at Bristol into the BK Designs restart zone, and we are back underway. A great launch here for the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner down into turn 1. Brandon Pasolacco struggling a little bit on the outside lines. He goes toe-to-toe here with the 17 machine of Daniel Wiles. Down to 3 and 4. Daniel Wiles working the inside line. The momentum falling to the 6 machine of Pasolacco, though, and Kazi all over the back bumper of the OB Builders machine of Pasolacco.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Kazi is really trying to get Pasolacco to, proverbially poop or get off the pot. It's time to get moving. Is he going to get down to the inside and give room for Kazi to take the outside lane? Or is Kazi going to have to push him even further until he tries to get past our man in the front, Bryce Rayner?
Outside lane, Kazi trying to find the momentum. Caution comes out, though. That's going to move Kazi up to 3rd here. And that's the 50 machine of Schaffner around there, and you don't really see that often.
No, you don't. Let's see what happened here. Let's see if this was a one-car tango or if he got a little assistance.
Schaffner, typically one of the quieter drivers here in the series, gets up on that outside lane. And is it going to come around him? Yeah, it's a little too early with that throttle. That's how on edge these cars are, and unfortunately, Paul Hill's luck stays where it's been pretty much all year. It just gets caught up in the collision with the 50 machine, and nothing he could have done to avoid that.
It's just unfortunate. Just unfortunate. But, yep, and there he goes. Let's take another look from Paul's nose camera here. Yeah. Hi. Do you have a minute to talk about your car's extended warranty?
Paul just wanted a piece of corn, that's all it was.
Just a piece of corn.
Just a single kernel. I think he got a little more than that.
He
Anyway,
got
next,
the whole cob.
be sure to tune in next on Corn Cob TV. Coffin Flop starting with its third consecutive season.
Look at this.
I'm just here for the zip line.
Starting to think you're just here for the zip line.
No, I can't go home. Just waiting for me at home is really bad.
And I think this is going to be the next to last one. Yep, here we go. Lights are off in the pace car. You know what that means, folks? It means after this one, it's on, it's on, it's on. When we pass through the BK Designs restart zone this time, it's going to be Bryce Rayner and Brendan Pasalacqua leading things off. Let's see who gets a better launch this time around. Rayner's gotten some pretty great launches. He's kept himself super competitive with these restarts, but it's a matter of reaction time and then intent. So let's see where the boys take it. Down.
Say what the Rainers got all the advantage in the world here, starting on that inside lane here at the start, or at the front.
That's right. Green, green, green. We are go, go, go. And there goes Rayner up to the front.
The Causey up to the back bumper here. We know how aggressive that 88 machine can get. Following the 22 machine of Rayner through 3 and 4. Rayner with the advantage at the line here. Going to lead lap 64 down into 1 and 2. Rayner holding that bottom lane, trying to keep Causey at bay.
Can he do it? A lot of laps to go. We're only on lap 65, folks, so we still got plenty of race left.
I was right that time. It was a 15.452 from second place Joseph Causey, just a couple hundredths quicker than Rayner in the lead, who set a 15.467. Pasalacqua holding on to that third place right now, still ripping that outside line. I don't think you're going to see the 6 come up off of there. Here comes Justin Levine, though, taking a peek to the inside of the 6 machine to Pasalacqua, trying to take over third. Great launch out of turn 2 using the top lane, though, for Brandon. He's going to pull a little bit of an advantage down to 3.
Just a little bit. That's all he really needs.
Oh, and a big wiggle right behind Levine from Edstrom. The Texaco Haviland machine almost filed for Chapter 11 there.
The jokes write themselves, unfortunately. Oh, as Pasalacqua gets cycled back now.
Pasalacqua moves back here to the 4th position. Levine sliding up into 3rd. Side by side a little further back. Louis Becerra trying to get underneath the 64 machine of Russell Black. Russell Black working the outside line here. Has the momentum in his favor. Down at 1 and 2 though. Becerra not giving up. Remember, Becerra went for a little bit of a ride earlier. Think he got 4 fresh tires on the machine. That thing's firing off quick here. The 12 Costa Racing Mustang going to pick up another spot here and move up into 8th. Sorry, 7th. Counting's hard, guys.
Yeah. I'm with you, buddy.
The one I got to give a shout to right now, though, 72 laps into this 325 lap behemoth of a race. That 23 machine of John Bender holding on to a top 10 right there behind Chris Hudson. Good performance out of him. No, they're wrecking. Allegedly. Yep, there it is.
That's what I heard. Let's take a look. See if we can figure out who did what.
Got one car, the 71 machine of Keith Long, parked up against the wall there. Now taking the tow down pit road. My crew chief app said that him and Hill got together.
Hill. Let's see. Look. Here we are.
Same thing that happened to Paul earlier. Car just gets loose on the outside of him and crosses right down in his face. That's the worst kind of wreck you can be caught up in, because there's nothing you can do in that moment to avoid it. That's going to be heavy damage to the right side of that 26 machine, too. Right front and left front folded in substantially for the Bigfoot Camry of Paul Hill. I hate it. Every time I pick them, man, I hurt them. Paul, I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to quit picking you here. Not because I don't think you're fast. It's just because I take that golden horseshoe away from you every time I do it.
Yeah, the commentator's curse. We like to pretend it's not real, but every time we pretend it's not real, well, it just gets stronger.
Yeah, it's like vortex theory.
Kind of, yeah.
You don't think it's real, but we got enough evidence.
Woo. Scary stuff.
Paul Hill going to go behind the wall here after that damage. Too much for him to repair. Going to throw in the towel early here tonight from Bristol. Which I cannot say I blame him.
Right? That's Bristol, baby! This place is tough. I do not like racing here, but I love watching races here.
I love everything about this place. This has been a really good track to me, but you know, I've always had an affinity for the short tracks. I always love these places. It's just so much fun because you watch so many people come to these tracks and, you know, they struggle, and it takes a lot of practice, a lot of hours, a lot of testing to figure out how to really get around these tracks with any sense of speed. At least it did for me. And once you kind of figure it out and get your feet under you, these can be some of the most enjoyable races on the season. Of course, I'm very much a short track lover and a mile-and-a-half hater. For whatever reason, I'm not able to ferret those mile-and-a-halves personally.
Oh, it's been so long since I've even tried. Oh, hey, guess what? We're green, green, green. Let's go, go, go.
Another good launch of the BK Designs restart zone there for the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner, as he's got Austin Edstrom all over the back bumper. New challenger up here for the lead. Edstrom goes up to the outside line here, trying to find the momentum up to the back bumper here into turn one. Rayner opts to go back to the low lane. Here comes the 87 up top.
The 87 way up there. That's Edstrom.
Look at that, doing a really good job rolling center through 3 and 4 up top, too. The 87 machine starting to find that advantage over the 22 of Rayner. Out of turn two, Austin Edstrom going to take the lead. Up to the front here for Spaceman.
Ooh, can you do it? Can you do it?
Holds it by a nose there at the stripe. Down the back straightaway, the 87 machine of Austin Edstrom ripping that outside line, trying to get past the 22 here of Bryce Rayner. A bit of a wiggle there for Rayner, some wheel spin, going to lose a lot of momentum. That's going to give Edstrom the advantage he needs to pull clear here out of turn two.
Little bit of a wiggle for Edstrom, not much. I wonder where the stability for his car is, or if he's just really fighting. If we get a view from the inside, see if he's fighting the wheel at all, but it's a situation where he's had that back end has just been dancing around a little bit too much.
I think he'll be all right for the most part here, as long as he doesn't get too aggressive. So look a little bit further in the pack here. Big wiggle there for the 23 machine, I think that is. And Chris Hudson down to the apron, maybe trying to serve a penalty or something here.
Maybe.
What's going on with the 43? Let's keep eyes on it. Looks like he's maybe going for the pit entrance here.
Well, we were talking about it's hard to see sometimes, right?
I'd like to know what happened that made him have to go down there, because he would not pit right now. Must be a drive-through penalty for the 43.
Okay. Let's see where the rest of the battles are happening right now. Up at the front, Texaco, Austin Edstrom, One Sim Motorsports still has a hold on things. Other well-performing teams today at Fortis Motorsports doing very well. Paradigm doing very well today as well.
Bazera started to build on the comeback right now. The 12 machine up to third right now. Got past Patrick Gitter a couple laps ago. Bazera can be one to really keep your eyes on here at Bristol. It's a track that can also reward a little bit of aggression. We know Louis Bazera is one that will tiptoe the line between aggressive and calm, and does a pretty good job of it. Gets great results out of it as well. 12 machine looking like it's starting to come to life here, though. 93 laps in.
93 laps in, 95 laps in. We are making our way.
Throughout the field, majority of these guys single file, a little bit of side-by-side action happening. Here comes the 18 machine of Alexander Carr. He's side-by-side with Causey. Causey on fresher tires right now, ripping the outside line, trying to carve back through traffic here. Also, track conditions ever-changing here at Bristol. Right now, we've got a bit of a cloud coverage coming in, kind of darkening the track, adding a little bit of extra grip here for these guys. Davey Henry going to rock around the outside line here to try and get past the 83 machine of Adam Benefiel. PB doing a really good job working that third lane, too. I didn't think anybody would really be able to make many passes up there today, based on what we saw last night in NIS, but looks like the track conditions are just right to get a little bit of multi-groove action here.
Just about right. And that's what you want.
Past the 54 machine of Mullins. Here comes Benefiel now working the outside line. A little bit of monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, there's just enough versatility here, just barely enough. You have the right speed, you can make the outside work for you in pretty tremendous ways. We've seen that happen tonight a couple times, but the outside is just not to be messed with at Bristol. You gotta respect it, but if you do, you can do some amazing stuff.
Yeah, just gotta be careful up there. It's very easy to overload the car when you go to the outside line. Kill those tires, kill your longevity, your long run pace, and also very easy to just go up there and just lose the touch with the back end. Up at the front of the pack right now, though, Austin Edstrom trying to hold off the 12 machine of Louis Bazera. Bazera all over the back bumper, though, of the Texaco Haviland Ford Mustang down to the bottom here through 1 and 2. Bazera takes a peek to the left rear quarter panel, falls back in line, though, not able to get the momentum.
Unfortunate situation for Bazera there.
Ain't over yet. I think Louis is on a little bit better stuff here than Edstrom.
We'll have to wait and see. We're approaching the triple digits here. Oh, we just cracked them.
And Austin's just trying to hold him at bay here, trying to get Louis to burn his stuff up on that bottom line. Louis gets down, though, up to the quarter panel, almost to the wheel. Now the door side by side out of turn 4. Bazera by a nose, leading down into 1.
By a nose. Louis Bazera, your current race leader, taking things over from Austin Edstrom, who took things over himself from, who was it? Was it Pasalacqua? Yep.
I took it from Edstrom there.
Edstrom, I'm sorry.
Also shut the door in Edstrom's face there, but moving forward here, the 12 machine, a lot of pace right here on lap 104. Edstrom hanging on second. Patrick Gitter ran up at the front the first handful of laps here. Pit early, now moving himself into third place, just in front of the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner. Now you're starting to see where these guys that came down and took tires under some of these pit stops are starting to have that little bit of extra pace here at the end of the run.
Yep, a little something. Little extra. Je ne sais quoi. I always forget. Thank you. American. Je ne sais quoi.
The hell is a kilometer?
Well, it's about 1,000 washing machines.
1,000 washing machines.
Yep, side by side.
Anything but the metric system.
Anything. Let's see. Well, who's dominating the metric system right now? Speed-wise, that would be Louis Becerra. Out in front, Austin Ezram has made his way back up to second.
I think Becerra uses the metric system too.
Well, that's true.
The Brazilian native. I'm pretty sure Louis Becerra uses the metric system.
That's true.
Becerra put together an impressive run nonetheless. Oh, Edstrom gets loose out of turn 2. Heavy contact with the outside wall. I think Patrick Gitter riled his cage a little bit there, made him nervous. That's the thing too. You have a bad corner exit here at Bristol. You know, whether you get loose, get tight, stuff up into the wall, it basically messes you up for the next lap and a half. While you wait for those pressures to come back to you.
Wow.
I think those old tires are starting to get to Austin here, though.
Yeah, he needs to get them changed out.
Falls into the clutches of Bryce Rayner.
We're about 110 laps into Bristol. It's time to get some fresh tires.
Yeah, but you don't want to get them under green.
No. You don't want to do anything in the pit stop here. But pit stops are important, and we're going to take one here, folks. We're going to be right back with more from the last great Coliseum here on the OB Builders Cup Series via Grid Vision. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the OB Builders Cup Series live from virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Grid Vision here, the Grid Vision boys. It's Jolo up in the booth with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire, and all three of us together are putting on a show for you. Well, we're not putting on the show, the drivers are putting on the show here. And all of them 30-plus drivers are going around Bristol still to this day, or at least as of right now. 128 laps from the 325 laps around Grid Vision, around Bristol right now, and it is looking pretty good.
I'm noticing his Edstrom really falling off here at the back end of this run. Has lost a bunch of spots, sitting now in the 8th position. Just got passed by Levine and Causey. As Causey tries to put the moves on PB Henry here. PB Henry down to the bottom of the track here into 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Big wiggle for the 95 machine. Going to have to give up a little bit of leeway here to the 88 of Causey. Causey rips up against the fence and shoots down the front straightaway, moving himself up to P5.
Wow.
Contact there between Justin Levine and PB Henry. No harm, no foul, though. Levine keeping it pointed in the right direction here. He's going to get the outside into 3 and throttle up out of turn 4 and past the 95 machine. He's going to go. Through the field, majority of these guys single file out here, aside from a couple clusters. Oh, that was a great camera right there.
Jumbotron just wants to be featured here on the broadcast for a minute.
That was Colossus.
Oh yeah, the Colossus. The last great Coliseum.
Well, the IT guy that has to work on Colossus is the last damn job I'd ever want, because you look at it, you're hovering over pure pavement and concrete, and Darby, I've seen somebody, I know you're saying they bring it down to the ground to work on it, but I've literally seen guys climbing around up there on YouTube. It's scary.
I'll have to go watch some YouTube videos myself and see how that looks. That might be a fun gig. I imagine either way it wouldn't be as exciting as being down at this point of view, the one that we've got right here. Man, imagine being a camera operator next to a NASCAR track. Woo! That would be an exciting point of view right there. As long as you're not up on the tower. And right now, we are on 138 of 325. Over a third of the way through tonight's race.
Good race has been so far. A lot of comers and goers, a lot of different strategies at play here, and a surprising amount of lead passes for the lead as well. Right now, lead in the hands of Brazil's own Louis Bezerra, setting some really good times here around the last Great Coliseum.
Yeah, it's not been a single person's race tonight. I mean, the guys who have been leading in a very good fashion. Honestly, there have been a few of them, but the fact there have been a few of them at all is really interesting. We've had at least 3 or 4 different drivers that have just figured out how to get to the front and stick it out, and then for better or worse, they've been getting cycled out of the front. Now, we've had some bad weather, we've had a few knockarounds here and there, but we'll see if things can hold out for the rest of the day. When we crack it open, we will find out who is the victor.
So we got a long way to go, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the last great Coliseum, but it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Look at Justin Levine right now from overhead. Currently sitting in 4th place, just behind Joseph Causey. I tell you what, man, Causey makes me mad. This dude doesn't do any practice, doesn't test, doesn't, run hardly any races throughout the week unless he likes the track. He might, show up for an NIS here or there. And he always shows up with pace. Always up at the front, always runs well. It frustrates me, man. But that's just Joseph Causey, man. He's out here for fun. And I'm sure he's having a blast right now. If you look right there, he's got the finger out the window, signaling a salute to his teammate behind him of Justin Levine. Causey working the outside now, trying to get past the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. Looks like Gitter starting to lose a little bit of the handle of the 21 machine here.
Losing the handle of the 21, that seems like something that I never would have expected to happen. Gitter is usually one of the drivers that can keep the car on the track and keep all 4 on the, on the pavement. So when you say that he's starting to lose a little something, that piques my interest. Oh, that explains it too. The other guys that he's fighting against have way fresher tires than him.
Also got our first pitter here, Austin Edstrom. Came down, took 4 tires and some fuel. Filling up at the local Texaco station. It's going to take him a while to get up pit road. It's hard to find those these days.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. And across the line. At 152.
A bit further in the back, Luke Christian. Battle for 14th starting to heat up. Down to the inside of Alexander Carr. Carr's going to roll off the throttle, let the 3 machine go. Christian now setting his sights on the 28 machine of Tim Wortman Jr. Also, DeCiani up to the back bumper here, the 9 machine of Chris Crosby. And we got a motor going.
Who could that be?
I'm also not sure. I think our producer might be hearing things.
Cooge. Oh, man.
Also, here's something to note, too. Austin Edstrom came down pit road just outside the top 10 of the 87 machine. He is now 3 laps down, or 2 laps down after the pit stop. Unlapped himself from 3. Around goes Causey up into the outside wall. And he saved it. Luckily, no caution there. For Austin's sake, anyway. Here you see him going to battle with Justin Levine. Gets into turn 1. A little too deep. Maybe a little bit of air gets pulled off the spoil of the 88. Around it goes. Tags the fence, but keeps it pointed right. Doesn't look like he hit the wall too bad either.
A little bit of a thank you on the road there. Battle for the lead now heating up. Yeah, let's see it.
Down to the inside, here comes Justin Levine trying to get past Louis Becerra. Becerra not going to let this one go easy, though. Tries to get the drive off of turn 2. Not able to find the momentum, though. Justin Levine now the race leader at lap 160. And it's been a revolving door since we dropped the green flag as far as the lead goes. Down to the bottom of the track, here comes Becerra trying to take a stab to take the lead back away from the 19 Team Conti machine. Now, it's just not going to work out too much here. Going to have to fall back in line behind the 19.
So he did, unfortunately. Falling back in line, the name of the game there. The Snickers car trying to find a home for itself. It can find a spot for itself pretty easily, but then it's going to want to make a pass there on Brendan Paslakwa, excuse me, on Patrick Gitter. It's going to want to soon.
Yeah, I'm surprised Causey still has pace after that slide. It's actually kind of impressive.
Nope, we won 3 wide. Briefly, no, that's just one of the lap cars getting out of the way.
See outside, here comes Joseph Causey around the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. If I know Gitter well enough, yep, there it is. He's going to crack up the throttle, let the 88 machine go. Patrick Gitter, very much one of those, old school gentleman type drivers. If you can see that you're faster than you, if he can see that you're faster than him, he'll just, let you have it. Fall back in line, try to figure out how to cool the tires down and make another stab at it later. Drivers like that are few and far between this day and age.
Yeah, you're going to find people, that patience required is just not going to be there.
There's the 09 machine of J.Z. Gibson come down pit road. Chris Davis dives down as well. They're trying to work his way past the lap car of John Bender down to the bottom here, and this is where it gets complicated here. If you're one of these front 2 cars, you end up in a lot of dodgy situations here with the lap cars because, well, they're racing their own race. They have just the same amount of track to work with as you.
Yeah.
And
but they're on their own world.
You gotta really be on top of it as to where you catch them, where you pass them, what moves you make to get by them, because you can put yourself in a bad spot and lose a ton of time if you're not careful. And sometimes you have to give them the boot out of the way too, which isn't enjoyed by the lap car, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Especially when you're a lap car. You're just trying to fight. Every moment is a fight for relevance.
Well, cars have fenders for a reason.
Well, that's true. Use them.
Paul Gallimore moving past the 5 machine DeCiani here to move himself up into 15th. Fun thing is, though, if you look right behind DeCiani, here comes the 19 of Justin Levine to put your 16th place runner a lap down. There's your Tate Crosby pole winner today, about to lose a lap as well, as you see your race leader looming right off the rear bumper of him and the 72 machine of Shane Clore. Clore on a different lap here than Paul Gallimore, a couple laps down for the 72 machine. 25 laps for the 72, but oh, they're wrecking.
Oh, this might change things.
Zodiac and Schaffner around on the front straightaway. This works out for Levine, but it's not going to work out for Edstrom, J.C. Gibson, or anybody else that came down pit road there.
Here they all come down pit road. Now's the time.
3 wide off center here. Crosby slides up the hill up into the 37 machine of Zodiac. Nothing Zodiac could have really done there, and around in front of Schaffner. I don't think anybody wanted to see that caution right there.
No.
That just ruined a lot of races with the fuel and pit strategy. You look at the single pit road here. Back straightaway, front straightaway combined. It's going to be a nice advantage there for Becerra, because he's got a front straightaway pit box.
Yep.
Keep your eyes out for that yellow car, Justin Levine. You see him loom through the corner here. And down and off the jack, Zara. Good launch off pit road, but it's not going to be enough. Justin Levine winning the race off pit road by a nose.
That little nose.
That should net him back up to P1 here. Well, looks like we got a couple guys that stayed out. Causey, Gitter, Passalacqua, Daniel Wiles, Rayner, Benefield, Christian, and Wortman Jr. So we're still on the altering strategies here, just 178 laps in.
178 laps in. My goodness gracious. That's what puts us at about the halfway mark.
This place flies by when you got a lot of green flag runs.
Everybody's stacked up. Green flag, green flag. We're ready to go yet again here. Bristol is coming alive.
Good clean launch there through the BK Designs restart zone for the field. Causey with the advantage over the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. Brandon Passalacqua been quiet here for a little bit. Now working the outside line again, trying to get past the 17 machine of Daniel Wiles. That 6 car, you know, he's really good on that outside line. Really strong short run car here for Passalacqua. Just has to figure out how to put the whole thing together to get that long run pace this evening. He's going to leave the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner. On the back straightaway up into P5 here for the 22, or P4 for the 22 of Rayner. Now taking a peek to the inside of Passalacqua, trying to take over the 3rd spot.
Here at the front, riding the outside wall. It's Patrick Gitter, or it's Brandon Passalacqua still. Not quite going down to the inside, still using that outside to keep that clean air on the front of the car. But looks like any minute now he's going to try to make one of these turns into a move on Gitter.
Oh no, he's starting to lose a little bit of corner momentum though. A little bit of that roll center starting to fade away from the 6th machine already here with the off sequence. That 22 machine of Rayner all over the back bumper. The rest of these guys behind him just about as orderly as it gets. You got one bow starting to heat up though. Down to the bottom of the track comes Randy Mullins trying to get past his teammate of Josh Schaffner. Paradigm cars going at it toe to toe here.
Yeah, competition.
Schaffner still with heavy damage to the left front splitter of the 50 machine after the incident he got caught in earlier. Mullins not able to attach to the back bumper of his teammate here though. Track temp going up here too. Just heard that it is 105 degrees out there on the surface right now with an 81 degree ambient temp.
That is hot for racing.
The thing I keep your eye on here too, Joe, is how much the lane moves, how much the rubber really seems to change here. You know, you saw how it was pretty much painted black from top to center before we had that caution come out. Mm-hmm. And you notice that inside lane now in the middle kind of a little bit lighter than they were, a little bit more of a gray area. That's because these cars picking up the rubber under the caution. That changes how much grip is in each groove substantially. And every lap that we go by here, this track just loses a little bit more and a little bit more grip. And if we go green from here to the end, these guys are going to be absolutely begging and searching every inch of this facility to try and find just a little bit of extra traction.
And where is it to be found at Bristol? Where is that extra traction?
Well, the longer the run goes, typically, I mean, you want to keep the car down the bottom because you want to, you know, put as little bit of load in the car as possible. But if you're trying to make a little bit of quick pace, The Ghosts go up the hill, and one car going up the hill, spin out of turn 2 into the outside wall for the 23, and that's going to take the 9 of Crosby as well. Is that Hudson? Oh, my Lord, in from the top rope.
Oh, my goodness. In from the top rope.
The 25 just about hit him with a steel chair.
Let's see it. Let's see what happened. The 25 hit him with the steel chair.
This came out after the yellow. 23 machine gets down there, grabs the apron.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, you can't counter steer it when it gets loose like that. You just got to ride with the spin, otherwise you end up in a very rough situation.
Whoa!
Bunch of cars.
Yeah, the 25 just slamming in right behind there.
Yeah, that reverse gear a little bit stronger than I think some of these guys were expecting. The actual cause for caution, though, was looks like the 92 of Jordan Slater actually spun out in front of the 74 of Chris Davis. Two made heavy contact on the front straightaway. See what happened here with the 25. This is post caution. Somebody just, lifted for the yellow, grabs the apron, car over rotates, and around they go. But the initial cause of incident was actually Jordan Slater getting sideways out of turn 4.
Huh. Well, chaos theory is a real thing.
Get our eyes here on what happened to the 92 machine. Sorry, Jordan. Everybody's mistakes get caught up on here. But just gets low loose coming out of turn 4. Car snaps around on him, tries to save it, not able to, and unfortunately for Chris Davis, he was just wrong place, wrong time there. And the other end of the track, chaos unfolds.
Chaos unfolds. Well, no chaos right now. We are chaos light at the moment.
And unfortunately, Chris Hudson is going to join Paul Hill down in the infield here as he's taking the car behind the wall for the night. Lights out on the iRacing pace car, getting ready to return to green here once we work out of turn 4. Field in the hands of Joseph Causey and Brandon Pasolak, but Patrick Gitter has moved himself back up in 3rd place with Bryce Rayner in 4th, and 5th, Daniel Wiles. Justin Levine on first car on fresh tires, sitting in 6th place with Tim Wortman Jr. in 7th. And top 10 round out by Adam Benefield, Luke Christian, PB Henry. In the BK Designs restart zone, we are back underway. Joseph Causey with a great launch through the box, going to pull a car length or 2 advantage over Pasolak, down into 1 and 2. Patrick Gitter trying to get to the inside of the 6th machine to make a battle for 2nd place. Going to shut the door in the face of the 22. Bryce Rayner down to 3.
And shut the door he does, but he does it from way down, way upstairs still, way on the outside. So the door's not completely shut. He leaves just enough room for Gitter to maybe make the move for 2nd place, which he's doing right now. The two of them nearly door to door. Or at least that might not be an illusion. Yep, so the two of them were briefly close to each other, but this time it's going to be Causey who falls back, realizing that he might not have won this one.
I guess you call that a mirage, Joe?
Yes, it is. Let's hear it. What does a mirage sound like?
Something sabotage?
Okay, fair enough. You got me.
Causey with a good advantage right now. 2-3 car lengths ahead of the 6th machine of Brandon Pasolak, just like he planned it. Sitting in 3rd place, Patrick Gitter trying to close up to the back of the 6th machine. Meanwhile, Bryce Rayner starting to fall under fire here to the 19 of Justin Levine. And this is one of them tracks, too, that I know Levine has circled on the calendar every year. Big fan of Bristol. But also slow and calculated, sitting there right behind Justin in 6th place, old Adam Benefield. I'd say slow based on the approach. Go slow to go fast, not slow as in Benefield slow. Because he'll lighten me up over that one as soon as that one gets misinterpreted.
Well, let's see. The only thing that we need to interpret right now, though, is 1st place. And right now, that is firmly in the hands of Joseph Causey. with Brandon Paslakwa in second and Patrick Gitter in third. It's looking good. Like, we know most of the stack here pretty well, and having Kazi and Gitter in the top 5, pretty good feeling.
So how about this run right now? Sitting 7th place, Tim Ortman Jr. in the 28 machine. Great pace he's shown here tonight in Thunder Valley. Always makes me happy to see Tim up here running well. Got a win last year here in the OB Builders Cup Series. I can't call off the top of my head which track. I remember it seems like everything, but it's slipping the mind just a little bit. He's under fire right now, though, by that 17 machine of Daniel Wiles and Louis Becerra, who led a bunch of laps early, sitting in 9th right in front of the 95 machine of PB Henry in 10th.
PB Henry has been working hard, but not getting the results out of that hard work over the course of this race tonight here. He's been a name to be mentioned multiple times, but he's been hard-pressed to get out of the position that he finds himself in, hovering around 10th, middle of the pack from where he's been starting. It's just not a pretty race for PB Henry right now.
Davies had a lot of pace here, but not quite the luck that he's been hoping for from Bristol this evening. But a top 10 run here in the OB Builders Cup, I mean, it's a great place to be, especially if you're PB. Good run for him here. Looking for a little bit of momentum to build off of this season. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster here for him in the CFM Performance Chevrolet. And nothing to do with pace, just bad timing and bad luck coming to bite him. Because those CFM cars have been lights out quick multiple times this season, PB Henry included.
Just getting a load of Bristol while we were going around here. Lap 211. We've still got about 100 and change to go, folks. So settle in.
That's still a long way. It's starting to get crunch time too, though. You know, you've only got so much time to make something happen here at Bristol. Somebody trying to make something happen right now. Austin Edstrom trying to get a lap back from Joseph Causey. Remember, Austin was one of those cars that got caught on pit road when the caution came out.
That's true.
Up in the outside line, going to clear Joseph Causey here at the start-finish line, move himself down to, I believe, just one lap behind the field now. Nope, last car on the lead lap is Austin Edstrom, sitting in 17th place.
Gotcha.
And if you zoom in closely, I'm pretty sure you just watched him throw a banana peel down on the racetrack. So we got a battle for second heating up past Paslakwa and Justin Levine going at it. And it's over just as quick as it starts. Justin Levine on first car on freshies here as he works the outside line through 3 and 4. Now he's going to try and swallow up Joseph Causey.
Tall order, that.
What are you trying to say? Roasting Causey?
No. It's like it's a tall order to keep up. He's a good driver.
Say it's a tall order to pass Joseph Causey, especially if you're Justin Levine, because he races his friends harder than he races anybody else.
There you go. There you go. That's what I was trying to get at.
Can confirm through personal experience. We got a little bit of smoke there out of in turn 4. I'm wondering who got sideways there. Looks okay for the most part, though. Must not have been too big. Just a little bit of wheel spin, I guess.
Just a bit.
A lot of
Cars
it.
on the
Make
track.
that much smoke.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that Chris Crosby has disconnected, so maybe a little bit of lingering damage for the 9 machine. He decided to take her down pits and call it a night.
Oof. Yeah, we had Paul Hill, Chris Hudson, and Chris Crosby all disconnect. It's a shame, but I hope they're keeping up with what's going on. I hope we see them next week when we go to Kansas.
Well, they'll be back here. The OB Builders Cup Series has retained a surprising number of cars this late into the season.
Yeah, very good looking for 7 or 8 races into the league.
Now, normally around now, you start to see a couple guys disappear and just no show, but this guy's putting in work.
Best they can. It's paying off.
On the pack, Joseph Causey still hanging on to about a half-second lead over Justin Levine.
Just a half second. That half second feels like a valley, like a canyon that needs to be crossed.
It's a difficult threshold to break here at Bristol, especially in this Cup car where you got the dirty air, you got all the things you got to worry about when you're behind the wheel. Causey's got the advantage of that clean air right now, and he's making it work in the Snickers Toyota Camry. The throwback tribute paint scheme to old Ricky Rudd, who drove that car in 2007 when he returned to Robert Yates Racing. I had diecast that car as a kid.
Wow, man, that's a good memory.
Yep, big. Well, I was a big Ricky Rudd fan. You know, we didn't have a whole lot of Virginia drivers when I grew up. We had Ward Burton, Ricky Rudd, and I don't really think about anybody else at this point. Jeff Burton, of course. So, gotta pick your favorites if they were local. Oh, heavy contact with the outside wall for Paul Gallimore.
Is it going to slow him down?
Don't think it's going to mess him up too bad, but you know, this race started out with so much anticipation, so much hope for him, and it's like he's been snake bit since the green flag came out. A lot of pace in qualifying, but here in the long run, it hasn't materialized here for him.
Lap 232. We are under 100 laps now away from the end of this race.
Rough news for Austin Edstrom, by the way. We saw him come up here to the front of the pack and unlap himself. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to last for long. Joseph Causey has found himself to the back bumper, but this is a precarious spot for Causey to be in because Levine is breathing down his neck right now. And the last thing Edstrom wants to do is lose a lap here. Tries to throw a block out of turn 4, and around he goes.
Oh!
Off the nose of Causey.
It had to happen eventually. It had to happen eventually. Oh, man.
And the problem there wasn't even so much the battle with Causey and Edstrom. Edstrom tries to get down underneath the 74 of Davis, slides up the hill into the bumper of the 74. At the same time, him and Causey are making contact, and it's enough to send both of them around. And I'm wondering if Edstrom was able to retain the spot on the lead lap there. It looks like he did not. No, Causey did get in front of him, so Edstrom going to have to take the wave around here because he loses Lucky Dog eligibility with the spin.
Look at this. Lucky Dog eligibility if you spin?
No, yeah, you can't get a lap back from a caution if you were the cause of caution. Keeps people from going out there and spinning when they're in the Lucky Dog spot.
I guess so, yeah. You don't want to just like throw it into the Lucky Dog spot like a crazy person.
We'd have, you know, every caution, somebody would spin themselves to get put back on the lead lap. That's what would happen there.
Truth.
There was a time frame where iRacing did not penalize you for any incidents before the Lucky Dog, and we had a rash of that. It seemed like everywhere we went.
All right. Pit stops are rolling through. Folks who are done and looking good.
Joseph Causey wins the race off pit road, moving himself up into second place. The 24 machine of Jose Medina. Haven't talked about him all night. Pretty sure he pit. I think he forgot. Oh, yep, staying on the bottom of the track here. So the 24 machine did pit. Oh, no, never mind. I think 24 was the lucky dog. One of the only tracks where the lucky dog ends up in, a top 3 spot. He's going to take the end of the longest line penalty here. Probably come down and get 4 freshies on that machine. Now it's going to be Causey versus Levine again. This time they're going to be on equal stuff. This is the first time Justin's refired with track position. Brandon Pasalacqua moves back up into the 3rd spot with Bryce Rayner. Sorry, Pasalacqua into the 4th spot with Rayner sitting in P3.
And everybody's lined up 2 by 2 by 2 going down. The lights are off in the pace car. We're going to get things started again here real soon here from Bristol Motor Speedway. And there it is. There's the green flag, and we are, we are on our way. Let's
Back
do
rolling here. On the pack now, Bryce Rayner trying to get second place away from Levine, slides up the hill, almost grabs the door of the Team Conti Toyota Camry. A big wiggle for Justin Levine on the outside line there, got up into the marbles a little bit, almost lost the back end of the 19 Camry. We're on the outside, here comes Justin with the advantage, able to clear barely into turn 1. Here comes Rayner fighting back, but the momentum not in his favor, falls back in line behind the whatnot Toyota of Justin Levine. Now Justin trying to set his sights on the machine of Joseph Causey as they're still side by side. Patrick Gitter door to door with Brandon Pasalacqua here into 1. Gitter does not get quite a good exit out of turn 2, kind of messing him up here for 3 and 4 now. It's going to give all the momentum to the 6th machine of Pasalacqua as he's going to shoot by here on the top lane to take over 4th. Look at this, Daniel Wiles starting to sneak his way into the picture. Daniel Wiles could be one to keep your eyes on here too. He's put together a really good run here tonight. Started this thing off 4th, kind of went stagnant there in that first run, but now back up into the picture, sitting in P6, and also driving a Team Conti Chevrolet, the same stuff that Justin Levine's on up there at the front. I've got a feeling that Daniel Wiles might have something to say about it. We can get a good long green flag run here.
Let's get that good long green flag one. That's what I want to see. I want to see green from now to the end. How about that, buddy?
That would be wonderful.
Oh, wonderful.
But it is also Bristol.
Don't remind me.
But I will say these guys put together a really good race so far. Very minimal cautions for Bristol. It's been a lot of fun to watch up here.
Has been.
One of the best tracks on the circuit, in my personal opinion. Just run on board with Patrick Gitter in the Heartbeat of America Chevrolet. Take a quick lap around Bristol with Patrick. Right now, you see the way the grips change. The middle to the outside lane looks like it's starting to become the prevalent lane here. Yeah, this is something that I saw Conklin doing last night, the NIS. Get those right side tires up into the gray. Find that little bit of extra grip where there's no rubber.
Yeah, I just saw some smoke fly out.
We get it, Joe. You vape.
Yeah, that's just me on the inside of the Bristol there. It's blowing some clouds, man.
Yeah, dude. A little bit of lap traffic up here for the race leaders to navigate through. That's going to open a little bit. Oh, around goes the 21 machine of Gitter. Saves it, but big slide for the 21.
That's wild.
I think I might get cussed out by him for picking him tonight.
Let's see if we can catch what caused that here. Or was it just him snapping himself a little bit?
Yep, got a little too hot into the corner there. Back end fell around on him.
Yep.
And that's a hopeless feeling to be into because you see how the back end of the car was yawed out early on entry. All the way through the corner, he knows that car is going to wreck. And there's nothing he can do. Just basically pray and crack the throttle and hope you save it. This Bryce Rayner is starting to put a little bit of pressure to the back of Justin Levine here in third place. Bryce has put together a really strong run here as well. That 22 car has been hooked up all night long. Just hasn't had the clean air. I feel like if he were to get a little bit of clean air to the nose of that thing, he could probably make something happen here.
Right now, we've got eyes on the 22. That's the 22 of Bryce Rayner.
Chase Elliott, Uni First paint scheme. Bryce Rayner. With different sponsors, of course.
I was going to say, with that turquoise color.
EMR Event Park, Paintball Airsoft. Chevrolet. Good looking car. One of those colors that stands out. So you get a good look at the 22 machine. Mag-fed airsoft paintball. Man, that sounds like a good time, Joe. What do you say we go to that?
Oh, man, I'm afraid of getting shot. I don't want to get hit. That stings.
I won't shoot you unless it's funny.
Oh, it'll be hilarious. I can promise that. That I can promise.
Oh.
Hilarity. Let's do a company golf outing instead. How about that?
I'm just gonna pretend that I'm Happy Gilmore the entire time. You know this, right?
You're gonna run around with the golf club between your legs?
Yep. Oh, 100%. 100%.
I hope so. I genuinely hope so.
Oh, it's going to be difficult for Causey trying to work through a couple offset lap cars here. Well, he does all right.
Ooh.
Gets around the 23 machine, gets clear. It's actually more of a detriment to Levine here. Justin Levine going to lose a little bit of time now. The advantage sitting at almost 7/10 of a second. Bryce Rayner going to squeeze the middle here. You know, I was worried about Passalak with a long run pace here in that 6 car, but he's really proven me wrong. It's been up in that middle lane, top lane all night long, and now the track's starting to rubber up a little bit, and it's a little less abrasive to run up there. That 6 machine's starting to come alive a little bit better.
Waking it up. And there's no time better to wake it up than with less than 100 laps to go. At Brad Bristol.
Yeah, at Brad Bristol.
Brad Bristol.
Brad Bristol. It's how you said it, Brad Bristol. So we went with it.
That's how I said it. Okay, that's fair. And a little Brad Bristol. You ever been down to Brad Bristol's?
It sounds like the worst dive. That sounds like the worst dive bar.
It sounds like a dive bar. You ever been down to Brad Bristol's place? That place is awesome.
That sounds great. It sounds like getting mugged in the alley trying to go home.
Yeah. I got beat up. Where? Outside Brad Bristol's. Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, big wiggle there, but a great save.
What a save. Snap down to the
and
inside
Jose Medina
of the 23.
up into the outside fence there trying to avoid it.
Tim Morton Jr. also feeling the squeeze here. The 12 feeling the squeeze, flying right through the middle. Jeez, Louise. It is an exciting one out there right now.
Guys, look out. Brandon Passalacqua really finds some speed here. Up to the outside of Bryce Rayner now trying to take over the 3rd spot. Cross the stripe, going to take the position here from the 22. Cross the line that time, it was a 16 flat for Brandon Passalacqua. That puts him about a 10th quicker. And 2nd place, Justin Levine.
Yeah.
guys up the front, they have migrated that line to way up against the fence. It's looking like a 2010s Bristol here as opposed to what I was expecting at the start.
Everybody riding the yellow line down the inside. Is that what you're expecting? And now the leaders are all ripping the wall.
You know, we haven't put this many laps green on the racing surface all week, so that line widening up here. These cars really moving up to the outside now. But I don't know. We might get another caution here soon because look who's about to lose another lap.
Oh.
Joseph Causey getting up to the back bumper of Austin Edstrom. Edstrom chooses to stay high this time. Decides, you know what? I like the car pointing in the right direction. We're not going to try that one again. But he's only making that decision because he did stay out there to get the wave around.
Alrighty.
Side by side here, lead battle starting to heat up. Levine took a peek down on the front straightaway, wasn't able to make it work. Now falls back in line behind Joseph Causey. A little bit lower. Look at the wiggle out of the 19 machine. That was almost a wreck. And that's how hard he's pushing right now. He's trying to break that dirty air to get to the back bumper of Causey in front of him. Causey's stuck in traffic right now, though. JC Gibson, the 09 machine, right off the nose. Gibson comes on the radio, says he's going to stay up top here, let Causey by. Causey going to slide in right in front of the Blue Rhino Toyota Camry. That's Levine's turn to try and navigate the traffic. Down the inside of JC Gibson goes to the 19 machine of Justin Levine. Doesn't have the momentum to get by him there, though. Wants to send it deep into turns 1 and 2.
Can he do it, though? He doesn't have the momentum, but he's got the placement. He's got the geometry. There he goes. He got it.
You know, Tim Wortman Jr. and Louis Becerra starting to go at it here for the 6th spot. Wortman Jr., man, he's putting together a great run here from Thunder Valley. Machine Becerra trying to cycle up the hill here to get a little bit of momentum over the 28 machine, but Wortman holding strong here. Now just has to work himself past the lap traffic of Austin Edstrom. Well, I try to figure out how to speak again.
It's okay. That was me earlier tonight, too, several times, so don't worry about it.
Brad Bristol's.
Brad Bristol's.
Get myself a t-shirt made. I lost my catalytic converter at Brad Bristol's.
And I bought it back in the parking lot.
It's more or less calm throughout the field right now. Paul Gallimore and Josh Schaffner trading a few blows here a little further back. What's about to heat up to be a 3-car battle up at the front of the pack. Justin Levine starting to close in again on Joseph Causey. And this is one that Levine wants bad. It has been a horrible start to the season for that 19 Camry. It's felt like just about every week he's been caught up in somebody else's mess or has a caution come out the lap he chooses to pit. And looking for a little bit of redemption here from Bristol tonight. But he's got one guy he's got to get through right now, and that's going to be the hardest pass in the field. Because Joseph Causey does not let anything go to anybody. Run on board with Causey here, making a lap around Bristol. Around the outside here through 1 and 2, trying to navigate this lap traffic. Good launch down the back straightaway, now closing into the back of the 72 machine of Shane Clore to try and put him a lap down. Clore flying, though, right now in that outside lane.
Jeez Louise, yeah.
You see, this is that stage of lap traffic where you really get annoyed if you're the leader because they're just close enough to you in pace to be difficult. and it really holds you up in the dirty air. You know, because these aren't like 32nd, 33rd place guys that they're working through right now. Like, these are guys that are at the tail end of that top 15 bracket in the top 20 range. You know, these are cars that are they're relatively pretty quick. That just don't have the overall pace. As Justin Levine gets up to the back bumper, shot to the back of the 88 of Joseph Causey into one. Levine, great launch down the back straightaway up to the bumper again here into turn 3. Causey with about a half car length advantage though. Here comes Levine again, taking another swipe. Peak down to the bottom here into turn 1. Justin Levine trying to take over the lead. Not enough momentum to get the job done. No, falls back in line here behind Causey down into 3.
Ooh, this is so close. This is so close. 293 out of 325. We are getting closer and closer. We are getting to what they like to call the wire. We're almost down to it, folks. And right now is 293 out of 325 here at Bristol.
And down to the inside, here comes Justin trying to take another peek, trying to get clean air to the nose of that whatnot Camry. And down the back straightaway up to the quarter panel, not able to avoid getting into the back of him, though. Has to pedal it a little bit. Causey, a little bit of breathing room through 3 and 4 this time, but Levine closes the gap quick into 1.
He's got it. The gap is right there. Oop, bounced off the wall just a
little bit.
Levine.
And Causey uses a lap car as a pick here. Shane Clore, the saving grace for the 88 machine, but here comes Levine with another good launch up to the bumper into 1. Just can't quite find the difference here. Going to push him down the back straightaway. Now Causey trying to get past the 37 machine of Kevin Zosiak to put him a lap down. And Levine gets stuck again behind Zosiak.
Yeah. Not for long, though. Look at this.
Really good run here out of 2, and Levine's got the faster car now. Just the problem is Causey's really good at being defensive, but now Levine dives under out of 3 and 4. They make a little bit of contact here at the line. Causey leads us to lap 299. Down to 1 and 2, still door to door. A little bit of contact again. They hit once. Down the back straightaway, Levine pedals it down to the bottom. Here comes Causey with the advantage to 3.
Whoa, did you see that 3 wide right there? They briefly just had it. Causey put it 3 wide up in the center. Levine right there. They made it right past that lap car. I thought for sure that was it. They were so close to each other.
Now here's good news for Causey. A little bit of ways to go before he gets back to Austin Edstrom to put him another lap down. Gives him some breathing room. Up through 1 and 2. Causey holds the advantage over Justin Levine. Levine closing on the back bumper out of turn 2. Bumper to bumper down into 3. And taking a peek to the inside here through 3 and 4. Levine gets another good shot now down into 1 and 2. Up to the quarter panel. They touch. Around goes Causey into the fence.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Causey able to save it, but losing a bunch of time. Falls back to 4th place from the lead.
Now down to the inside. Joseph Causey. Down to 4th place. Justin Levine up in 1st still.
And I'll tell you what, you typically see this between these two. Great friends here. A little bit of a shot to the quarter panel, though. Sends him up into the fence. But if she was on the other foot, Causey was going to do the exact same thing to Justin. It's these are two guys that run leagues, and when they get near each other and they're racing for position, they will race the absolute doors out of each other. And more often than not, end up wrecking each other. But look who's moved up into 2nd place and not too far off of your race lead, Brandon Pasalacqua. And he's running some scorcher lap times right now.
Yes, he is. Oh, my goodness. Is he the fastest guy in the race right now?
Across the line that time it was a 16.236 from your race leader, Justin Levine. It was a 16.252 from Pasalacqua. These guys are about equal. But depending on, how tire wear ends up playing for Levine, he just had to send it pretty hard there. Pasalacqua could be sitting pretty here. That time it was a 16.1 from Brandon. It was a 16.146 from Levine. So Pasalacqua ever so slightly better, but these two are flip-flopping times lap after lap. That time, 0.2 quicker for Brandon.
And 0.2 will do you.
Oh, yeah. To the back bumper here through 3 and 4. Pasalacqua. Car length separating the two of them here. And how about this? I thought Pasalacqua just did not have a long run car here, but as the race has gone on and the changes the track has made here, that 6 car has really come to life.
Yeah. The 6, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It really has.
Weather currently track temp down 1 degree from where it was last time you looked, down to 104. Air temp down to 80 from 86.
Ugh.
And the temps may be lower, but the thing you got to keep your eyes on too, though, is look out the window. Remember we were talking about how the track was gray, just blank concrete in a couple spots, from all the cautions and everything that we had earlier. Well, look at it now. It is rubbered up. The track surface is matching the asphalt in the infield all the way up to about the start of the 3rd lane here. What that means is you've got a lot of rubber built into that track surface, which means that track surface is a lot slicker. The oil from that rubber is making that track a little bit slidier, more difficult for these guys. And that means cars going to push more on entry and snap more on exit, which means these guys are just about tiptoeing around here at this point. And yes, we were talking about them there Clibbins. God bless.
Them there Clibbins.
There's a lot of Clibbins. If you look at the apron right now, there's Clibbins all over it. And the marbles that have rolled off of the racing surface.
Yes. Clibbins.
Hopefully nobody has to layer down Haas.
No one. Nope. It's all good. I got you back, buddy.
At the variance lines, Levine trying to cycle a little bit lower down the track, trying to pull those tires off. Knows that he's under pressure for Pasalacqua. Gets a little bit of wiggle out of turn 2. Here comes the 6. Up to the rear bumper through 3 and 4. Not able to connect, though. Falls back a little bit. It was a dogfight between Levine and Causey, the two beaten fenders, and just about sending each other around. It's going to be something entirely different here. Pasalacqua gets to the back of Levine, because this is one of the cleanest drivers you will find on the sim behind the wheel of this 6 car. Pasalacqua would likely rather put himself into the grandstands than get into the back of somebody for a win.
Well, you know what? That's magnanimous. If you're going to avoid hitting someone for the win, that's huge.
Justin really loose again out of turn 4 there.
Oof.
Taking a peek down to the bottom end of turn 3, trying to get a little bit of clean air to the nose is the 6 machine of Pasalacqua. Across the stripe here, 7 laps to go from Bristol.
Ooh, so close.
And there's a bunch of lap traffic in the way, and I can promise you that's going to determine the outcome of this race. Levine rifles around the outside, catches Edstrom. Edstrom stays out of the way here. Doesn't want to hold his buddy up now. Down through 1 and 2. Levine with the advantage still. A couple car lengths separating him from Pasalacqua. Brandon starting to lose contact with the 19 Camry. Out of turn 4. Now Levine up to the back of Jose Medina. Medina kind of shuts the door in his face, pedals it back down the hill to avoid holding him up too much. But that's going to open up an opportunity. Here comes Pasalacqua up to the, getting closer to the back bumper of the 19 now. Down into turn 1. Justin Levine still holding the advantage, getting past the 92 machine of Slater to put him another lap down. Pasalacqua is there.
He's got this. Pasalacqua is right there.
Just has to close 1 car length. He can be up to the back bumper and start really putting pressure to the back of the 19, but 3 laps to go. Does he have the time to do it?
With just 3 to go, they're going to go by so fast here. He could do it.
Out of turn 4, 2 laps to go here at Bristol. It's been a dry spell here for Justin Levine. Started the season off. Anything that could go wrong has go wrong for that 19 Camry. Looking for a chance to get out here and break it and build a new streak of good finishes. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go here at Bristol for Justin Levine. A couple car lengths separating him from second place Pasalacqua into 3 and 4. It's going to take a big mistake for Levine to lose it, and I don't think he's going to do it. Out of turn 4, and with the win here at Bristol, it's going to be Justin Levine.
Woo! The checkered flag flies for Justin Levine, the 19.
Get a congratulatory
Sailing away.
bump there from Brandon. And what a great drive by Brandon Pasalacqua, too. Got the thing up to second place on that long run, on this long run speed alone. Bryce Rayner, third place finisher. Gonna give him a little pat on the door as well. A great night of racing here at Bristol. And also, Joe, I call dibs.
Dibs on who?
I gotta get Justin, man.
You do, of course. Why don't we just go ahead and flip it, and I'll go ahead and do second place, and you do third and first.
Appreciate you, King. So we see the Team Conti Sim Performance Camry burning it down here at Bristol. Now, he's been wanting this one for a long time.
Well, he's earned it. He had quite the drive there. You know, we had a couple of lead changes at the beginning, and we had some threats at the end, but all said and done, it was Justin Levine who came away with the win.
And he killed Causey for it.
And he murdered Causey.
Absolutely cleaned him out. But, you know, Causey killed Benefield a few weeks ago, so it all works out. But give us those race results here.
You got it. Let's break it down. First things first, the fastest lap of the race goes to Joseph Causey with a 15.286. After that, Justin Levine wins it all, the gold medal, with Brandon Pasalacqua in second, Bryce Rayner in third, Joseph Causey in fourth, Daniel Wiles in fifth, P.P. Henry in sixth, Patrick Gitter in seventh, Tim Wortman Jr. in eighth, Luis Becerra in ninth, and Luke Christian in 10th.
Hey, you mean tell me Joseph Causey got the Team Birdie fast lap of the race and didn't get the win? Come on, man, that hurts. Right. Levine trying to get into victory lane. It's on the other straightaway there, buddy. But coming home in 11th place, going to be the 83 machine of Adam Benefield with Matt DiCiani in 12th. 13th goes to the 50 of Josh Schaffner with Randy Mullins coming up 14th. 15th place, the 18 machine of Alexander Carr, followed by 16th place runner Paul Gallimore, who was also the Tate Crosby pole winner today. 17th goes to Jose Medina with Austin Edstrom coming home 18th over Russell Black and Greg Carr running at the top 20. Oh my God, Justin Lee just ran over the spectators.
The fans are all over the place. We're going to need EMS down there immediately. The absolute horror of it. Justin Levine taking out the fans as he begins to fill the arena with smoke. Moving right along, 21 is Jordan Slater, 22 is Kevin Zosiak, 23 is J.C. Gibson, 24th is Shane Clore, 25 John Binder, 26 Chris Davis, 27th Chris Crosby, 28th Chris Hudson. Wow, 3 Chris's in a row there. That's got to be a record. 29th Paul Hill, and 30th Keith Long.
Coming home 31st this evening. Oh, sorry, it's the last car on the field. It's going to be the 45 machine of Chad Kibbe.
That's right. And he's stuck. He's stuck.
Yeah, he beached it. Looks like what happened to Roger at Martinsville a couple weeks ago. Sure, Roger's watching and fuming at that statement.
That's hilarious. All right, well, let's go ahead and get things kicked off here with some driver interviews. Talk about how the experience of Bristol went from their point of view. And the first person we're going to talk to, Bryce Rayner. Bryce, can you hear us up here in the booth?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Hey, all right. With 32 laps led and 15.363 seconds on your fastest lap, you had a pretty solid race, my man. Tell us, what do you think? I'm going to ask you a question that might be a little tough. What do you think held you back from the win tonight?
A little bit of long run pace, honestly. First and foremost, I did not expect to be getting an interview and talking with you guys tonight. Just full of bad luck back and forth through all my leagues that I run. So it's good to finally get a P3 finish. Started P2, ran some really good race tonight. And yeah, my long run pace wasn't there at the end there with 80 laps to go or so with that last caution. I just felt like I needed a little bit more turn. I put an adjustment in the car that I didn't feel that I liked up on the high lane, so I kind of tried to go back to the bottom and just find more grip. I mean, I felt like I had pace for Brandon, but then they just started kind of walking away from me with about 20 to go. But all in all, felt really good. Car was good in clean air. It was great to lead some laps up front. Felt like I was really good in clean air too. Worked my way through dirty air, and you know, if it wasn't for, you know, the little contact up front, I probably wouldn't be talking with you guys, but I'll take a P3 for sure tonight.
All right, you got it, my man. And with that P3, is there anyone you'd like to shout out to or thank for your performance?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Grid Vision, you guys up in the broadcast booth, for putting us on the air, and for all the admins who put on this phenomenal racing league here. Honestly, the best racing I've been a part of, apart from what I do on the road side of things. Huge confidence booster for a P3 finish against these top guys here. Pretty much an A Open, but pretty top-notch competition. So got to thank all the admins for putting on this league, all the competitors who probably push everybody to their best without making any mistakes. Secondly, I just want to thank Team Contest and Performance with the amazing setup tonight. I couldn't do it without them, and Conti, who built this setup. So honestly, without those guys and putting their hard work into these cars every week, I probably wouldn't be sitting with a good P3 finish. Digital Sim Sports, Martin PC, Team Conti again, Sim Magic, everybody who helps me there, and yeah, we'll keep on kicking. And I think we got Kansas next week, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, you actually beat me to my last question. How are you looking forward to Kansas?
I'm a big lover in 1.5 miles and short tracks. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the good tire management from the bottom to the top lane. You got to pick and choose your battles. You got to pick and choose the clean air and where you're going to get hit with it. So honestly, really love 1.5 miles. Feel like we're going to have a pretty good car next week. I just, hopefully this good luck comes my way, and we just keep cruising. Get another top 5, top 10 next week. It'll be pretty good.
All right, my man. Well, good luck for that. We hope to talk to you again next week if we get you up here in the top 3. And I hope you have a good rest of your week, man.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Bryce. That was Bryce Rayner, everybody. 3rd place finisher. And I realized that I promised my man Sheldon Atkins to get the other interview in here. So I'm going to let him actually do Brendan Pasalakma and Justin Levine. So how about that?
Oh, sounds good. Also, congrats again there to Bryce Rayner with the 3rd place finish, but we're going to move on up the board here with our 2nd place runner here tonight, Brandon Pasalakma. And Brandon, you know, the first run, I saw the way you lost the pace. It looked like the track went through some substantial changes, and it looked like you probably had the best car in that outside lane. Just talk me through the calls you made today, because normally I'm used to seeing you, go down there on the bottom and just, take care of the tires as much as possible. It felt like you were pretty much throwing everything you could here tonight, and you looked pretty good out there while doing it.
Yeah, I haven't been able to make the bottom work for me and my driving style for the last 3 years, Sheldon. So there's a couple grooves higher than that bottom lane that I've been able to do pretty well in terms of keeping my speed and my tires in a good spot. So I just drive to my strengths here. At the bottom I can't stand because every setup I put together, it's too loose off exit and it's just not fun to drive. So found a balance of being able to drive in a different group, and it actually helps because the way this track rubbered in, you had to be versatile in terms of which lanes you're going to run. So it actually went into my favor. The beginning of the race was tough because don't want to come down pit road with only 40 laps on the tires, and the next we have the whole field behind us on new tires, and then we went 150 laps on that first set. So at that point in time, I was just managing the race, and we still had pretty good pace. We stayed in the top 5 on that run. So yeah, just happy to have a good run at Bristol. Those are few and far between.
So how night and day of a difference was it from start to finish? Because that track looked like it went through about 8 different stages. Just talk me through how you kind of approach a track that changes around as much as Bristol does here.
Yeah, I don't know if I was just making up in my head, but it seemed whenever we had a caution and then went to the restart, the car for me handled completely different. I had to lead on the first caution, start, and then started on pole there on the restart, and I was sliding through the whole corner, and I just let Bryce go because I was out of control. So it seemed like every time we had a caution, just like real life, it seemed like everyone's tires picked up the rubber, and you got a little bit of a cleaner track, and then it took 20 laps for me to feel comfortable of being able to push my car again. So I was just trying to fight off, some of the hard chargers at the beginning of the run. So, and then there at the end, I mean, between Levine and I think we tried bottom, middle, all the way up against the wall, and we were able to make speed to get on a different lap. And so it was a blast trying to figure out where the speed is and where the grip was. And yeah, it was just a good time.
So after today, second place run, it's been all you and Benefiel in the point standings for what feels like since we dropped the green flag at the start of the season. Currently, after today's race, I'm looking at the current point. What I think are the current point standings. You have the advantage right now by 26 points. How well do you think you're going to run next week at Kansas? Do you think you can stretch that out? We about to watch a walk-off on the title here? Or?
No way. Yeah, I'm just happy, honest to God, Sheldon, if I can finish top 5 in the points. I was talking to Randy earlier today. Everyone approaches the beginning of the season as like with Daytona and Atlanta as like wild cards. But I think the first 2 months are actually wild cards between those tracks. You got a road course, and then you have Martinsville, Bristol, and then we have Talladega in 2 weeks. So I really think the first quarter of the year or so is just managing your race and trying to stay out of trouble, and you will be up there in points. And then once we get to more of the 1 mile tracks, 1.5 mile tracks, that's when you can try to go and I think try to show off your speed and whatever talent we all think we have. So I've just been lucky. I didn't get wrecked at either Daytona and Atlanta, and right now it's just a matter of trying to get top 10s and be happy with that.
Well, you say that you've just gotten lucky, but and that you feel lucky just to get a top 5 in the point standings. But if I remember correctly, last year you finished second in points, and the guy you finished second to is not here this year. So I think the odds are looking pretty good in your favor, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Well, one thing I've learned about the sim and racing in general is that there's always a bigger fish in the pond. And I think there's a few guys in this league, of course, Benefiel as one of the main guys is one of those, people that do an extremely great job week in, week out, being consistent, super fast. It's annoying because him and I have similar racing styles where I'd rather not burn it up at the beginning of the run and kind of come back at the end, and so it's a little bit of cat and mouse there sometimes, but a good battle is always fun, and I hope it makes it fun for y'all to track and follow as the season progresses.
Well, Bram, it's a lot of fun to watch you out there today. Congrats on the second place. Who do you want to thank and shout out for the podium finish tonight here from Bristol?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. You want to give a shout out to Bryce. It was great running with him all night. Seemed like he was faster than me at points, and I was faster than him. And then there's give and take there. And I think holistically for our league, that's exactly what we want. Give and take. Understand when someone's trying to push their pace more than you, and then hopefully that favor's returned at another point in time. So just tremendous fun racing there. Shout out to Randy, Josh, Greg, and Chris Crosby for everything they do for the league, and then you guys in the booth. Best broadcast out there, and we really appreciate you guys and yeah, love the broadcast and your guys' work. So thank you.
Well, congrats on the second place finish here tonight, and also new paint scheme looks pretty clean, man.
Yes, sir. A little bit of a Marvel fanatic there with the MCU series. So this week was the old Black Panther there. So I needed to lighten up a little bit more with these races. And so that's just me trying to have a little bit more fun as opposed to taking it so seriously. So hope you guys like it.
Yeah, thing looks good, man. I also like how it stays on brand with your style too. That you have on pretty much every car I've seen you run with the big old flag up top and everything. Good looking hot rod this evening.
I appreciate it, Sheldon. Thank you.
All right, take care, Brandon. I'm not gonna be handing on over. I'm gonna be pulling up old Justin Levine sitting here with the race winner and the Causey Destroyer himself, Lightning Levine. And Justin, I know you have been in every horrible situation that a man could possibly find himself in this year in the OB Builders Cup Series, as we get a replay, I think, of you killing Causey. Yeah, right here. So what's going through your head right here, man? What happened? What happened? No. Oh, don't. I know you're going to say that. You're kidding now, and I'm going to go to your chat later. You're going to say, no, I killed him.
I did kill him, but I was expecting Causey to continue to run up top where he was. He was running like right with his right side tires right at the top of the rubber of the track. And when he came down to pinch me, I was running just about like middle groove in between the bottom and the middle, and I wasn't expecting it. And I got on the brakes hard, and I still hit him.
Oh, I've seen you guys run enough league races with each other. If it didn't happen there, it was going to happen in the next 10 laps, guaranteed.
Oh, I was hitting him almost every corner. I
Oh,
pushed him
yeah.
through the
Yeah, no,
corner a few times. It was fun.
You guys, so no love lost between the two of y'all behind the wheel.
We were laughing about it at the end. He said I did to him twice. He got air griefed by the ghost. I don't know what happened there.
So how does it feel to finally get the job done though this season? You know, it's like I mentioned, it has been. You've mentioned it plenty of times. It has been the worst start to a season in the league I think you've had in recent history.
Oh yeah, the monkey's off my back. Hopefully we can keep the momentum rolling. But I won't be here next week, so we go to a high and then we just give up all those points. So it's unfortunate, but we'll be back for Dega.
Back to square one, but I'm sure you'll be back for Dega. Yeah, we already know how it's going to work out.
Upside down in the catch fence. Here we come.
So how did it feel out there behind the wheel tonight, though? Bristol looked like it was nearly 200 laps of green there at one point. It looked like the track was you were on eggshells, to say the least.
Honestly, it was the most fun I have had at Bristol in a very long time. Love what they did with the dynamic track and how we're able to change grooves, and later in the run you could run up against the wall, or kind of against the wall. Just packing the cushion of marbles up there is really what it is. You touch those marbles, you go to the wall, and I did it a few times. Kazi did it a few times. We kept evening out. I would do it. He would do it like 20 laps later. We would go back and forth. But it was a lot of fun, and what a great league, because I don't remember the last time I had over 100 green flag laps, multiple runs over 100. We just did 90 on the last laps, or the last cycle of tires to the finish there. A lot of fun.
It looked like a lot of fun up here, man. Like I said multiple times during the broadcast, I really wish I could have been down there running with y'all, because especially after last night, man. Like I got an extra ground with this place.
Oh yeah.
But round it up, man. Who do you want to thank and shout out for the big win here tonight from Bristol?
You guys, best in the biz. Can't wait to go back, watch a broadcast. Randy and Brandon and all the admins that put this on for us. What a great league. I can't stress it enough. It's one of my favorites, and I recommend everybody to come in here if you like open setups and you want a good hard racing league. And Team Conti, this car is unbelievable. Loved it and whatnot.
Oh, Justin, I have also gotten news. You are banned from subsequent races for running over 6 fans in the victory lane. They're also going to be filing a lawsuit, so you might be doing a little bit of time.
That's the real reason why we're not here next week. I didn't want the cat out of the bag so early, but thank you for doing that.
Oh, no problem, man. Either way, congrats on the win. Congrats on the win. I'll probably see you. You know, that's a good point. There is a clause in there that you will probably be hit by Justin Levine, Causey, or Austin Edstrom at one point.
That's what the right front says in really, really small. Under the 19, it says you will be hit by this fender.
You know, joke about that. Johan will probably put that on there for you.
It's going on the splitter.
100%. But either way, congrats on the win tonight, man. Looking forward to seeing what you do when you come back to Talladega, because you always put on one heck of a show there.
Can't wait.
Absolutely. But I'm gonna head on over to Joe LaCastro here to bring us on back down to ground level as we look at the catastrophe that is Victory Lane. Sorry, viewers at home, it's kind of catastrophic.
It was catastrophic. A big finish, but quite the finish there for Justin Levine. And what a finish it was. Bristol always delivers, man. Bristol always delivers, and this one did. We had so much green flag racing tonight. It was absolutely wild. I had a really good time watching this race. How about you, brother? Did you have a good time?
Man, it was a great race. Bristol always puts on a good show. We saw some great close quarters battles for the leads. We saw a lot of lead changes, too. Naturally, comers and goers, different strategies. Got a couple big wrecks here and there. And lots of give and take and a little bit of crazy side-by-side racing as well. The thing that I'm keeping my eyes on right now, though, is the flip-flop in the points. I'm looking at the standings right now. Brandon Passalacqua, Adam Benefiel, Louis Becerra, all up here at the top of the standings right now, separated by no more than 51 points from first to third. These are 3 drivers that any given week could get out there and put together a good run and, you know, possibly start to walk away with a little bit of a points advantage. But these guys are going to be keeping each other honest throughout the year, and it's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be amazing, my friend. And we've got much more to watch coming up. And folks, thank you for joining us here. We just watched race 9 out of 36. Here we got on screen, you can see in round 10, Kansas Speedway, Thursday, April 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific here. Kansas Speedway right here on Grid Vision. It'll be yours truly and my buddies here broadcasting this. And then here's a little bit of extra information about what we got going on. Kansas Speedway is coming up here, Grid Vision top split coverage, and then we've got the Monday Night Cup Series. So we have a lot of Grid Vision here. It's going to be wonderful, folks. Thank you for joining us here. If you were along for the ride, it was nice to have you. From the entire Grid Vision team, in fact, we want to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcast, if you got one or supported by gridvision.live, contact us. Hit us up on Facebook, Discord, or info@gridvision.live. Big special thank you goes to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash SimCams for providing the beautiful cameras used on all of Gridvision's broadcasts. And congratulations once again to Lightning Levine on winning tonight's race from Bristol. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and Austin Derbyshire. And hey, we'll see you next time on the grid.